Next, we have the founder of Aster Network and NetWeb Capital, Sota Watanabe. He's going to give a talk titled The Shock of Web3, What's Happening in the World. He's joining us online from the US. Watanabe-san, please. Hello, this is Sota Watanabe. I would have liked to go to Japan and participate there, but I'm in the US, so I'm joining from the US. So looking at Twitter and everything else, seems that Web3 is attracting a lot of attention. There's a lot of activity, energy there, and I think it's a great movement. Digital Garage has organized this wonderful conference around this theme. I'm very thankful for that. So for myself, I'm going to talk about the current state of Web3 and the next 2 years. I'll be talking for about 10 minutes. So simple self-introduction. Aster Network, it's the first public blockchain in Japan, is what I created. Entrepreneurs in Japan and abroad, I provide support to them through the NextWeb Capital. So I founded those companies, and I serve as advisors and play other roles as well. I work solely to realize Web3. So Aster Network, if I may explain just a bit, it was created in Japan. I think it was the first in Japan. It comes from Japan. It's the first public blockchain in Japan. Now, blockchains, they're not connected. Ethereum and blockchain, they're not designed to be interconnected. But in the next few years, we're talking about multi-chains. So various blockchains are going to be connected. I think that is the worldview that I have. When we use Bitcoin, or when we use Ethereum, we don't call it the web. If you are to call it the web, there has to be an interface and the user and protocol. So the current internet is globally connected. Blockchain in the next 2 or 3 years, I think, is going to, or are going to be connected in the next 2-3 years. So what we want to, well, the Star Network is going to play an important protocol, and we've been developing for 2.5 years, and we launched, and DeFi and NFT and various applications are on our platform. So globally, industry leaders and companies and the venture capital are backing us, and the Binance, Coinbase, Polychain, Crypto.com, OKX Hobby, all these companies supporting us. So from a global perspective, Japanese projects are not so recognized. Japanese entrepreneurs are not so recognized. So we want to be the pioneers, and we want to deliver results on a global stage is what we're aiming for. So Web3, what is it to begin with? So Web3 means that there were Web 1 and Web 2. Web 1 is the readable web. You can read on it. Web 2 is where it's readable and writable. So it's bidirectional web. For example, Facebook, Twitter, when you're using these services, you can read, and also you can post, you can write. But in the back of the product interface, how data is managed, that is centrally managed. And so decentralizing that backspace, and then you can verify their own data, and you can start to own contents like NFT. That is Web3. So Joy-san, I read his book recently, and he uses the word join. Read, write, and join. That's how he expresses it. So there are various definitions. That's the current state of play, that there are various definitions. I think definition will be set in 10 years' time in history. But I think it's good that at this point of time, people come up with different definitions, and that I think it's valuable that we're having these kinds of discussions, a debate about Web3. So where are we right now? So this is crypto.com and the World Bank data. Blue line is the actual crypto users. Green is the internet users. So 2022 in crypto is around 1998 in internet. So market is falling, including stocks right now. So I think this is equivalent to the bursting of the dot-com bubble in the internet, what we're seeing in crypto. So in the next 10 years, after the dot-com bubble, there was the mobile, a cloud, and game streaming. All these kinds of technologies flourished. So I think in the field of crypto, I think new innovative ideas going to be born. I think we're at that phase. So this is the time to really invest, and it's an interesting time technologically as well. So what's actually going to happen going forward? So various people have various ideas, I think, but well, public blockchains, they're quite numerous. In the future, I think the number will decline, but you have these various chains, and those chains being connected. For example, NFT on Ethereum, you can buy with a Bitcoin. That kind of thing will be possible. Or token, ERC20 token on the Ethereum. You can use a DeFi on Aster. So all of that's going to be seamless experience. So right now, sometimes it's connected, but it's expensive or it's slow, and usability is extremely low in many cases. Gradually, technically, that's going to be resolved in the next 2-3 years, I think. Number of developers is increasing, as shown. Over the long term, I am very optimistic. Ethereum is leading the growth, but Polkadot and Solana Avalanche, Bitcoin as well. Number of developers continue to increase. I think that's significant. So what is the position of Japan in all of this? Well, in this industry, the country that is leading is the US, so many companies there. In terms of amount of fund inflow, so the so-called unicorns, there are 32 unicorns in the US, 1 in Japan. Another data source on the right-hand side. So last year, $120 million investment in Japan, 400 million in Singapore. US, it's about 1.2 billion US dollars. So, well, Korea is twice as large as Japan, Singapore 4 times as large, US more than 10 times. But this is equivalent to 1998 for the internet, and so it is possible for Japan to catch up and be revived. So the private sector cooperating and working on this is important. So as one entrepreneur, I think it's important that we achieve results on a global scale. There are many things we couldn't do in Japan, so we like to realize that, achieve that, then feed that back to Japan to reinvigorate the Japanese market. That is what I would like to do. So to summarize, there is a lot of fund inflow into Web3, especially in the US. So Web3, it's global from day one or from day zero. It's so global. So I think that you have to look at the world, learn from the world, and continue to improve. And in that process, remember like Sony and Toyota in the past, you have to try to make global products that are appreciated globally, like those companies in the past. Now, public blockchains are going to be connected going forward, and so the infrastructure is going to be developed. And then on that, there will be new innovative use cases born. So we are, well, it's an opportunity to be at the forefront of innovation. So I really want to invigorate the market. So finally, Web3 has just started. So as I said, this is about the same time as the end of the dot-com bubble in internet terms. So what to do going forward, what to do it for, what purpose, and how to develop Web3 toward mass adoption. I think the purpose is different by various stakeholders, but I think it's important that we look toward the same direction and move together. So that was 10 minutes, so that's all I have for today. But in the next several months, I plan to return to Japan. So I hope to see you all in Japan again. Thank you for this opportunity today.
Watanabe-san, thank you very much.